guys, I'm Abby Bobb. This is Josie.
Hey, I'm Fiona Claire Huber.
Hi, I'm Curt Miller.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellen Mihalick.
Hi guys, my name's Kyle James Adam.
Hi, I'm Sarah Wade, and this is Larry.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Jones.
Hello, my name is Dakota Hoar.
And I'm the female swing and dance captain for the current non-union tour of An American in Paris.
I'm a wardrobe supervisor. I am currently on tour with Come From Away, and this is my 6th year tour.
I'm an ensemble member dancing on the U.S. National Tour of An American in Paris.
Currently, I work as the head sound on Summer, the Donna Summer Musical First National Tour. Before this, I worked as assistant sound on the national tour of Jersey Boys.
I was on the national tour for American in Paris. I was Mr. Z.
I play Lise Descent in the national tour of An American in Paris.
And I am in the male ensemble and understudying the role of Henri in the 2020 national tour of An American in Paris.
I'm currently the production stage manager for An American in Paris national tour. We are on hiatus right now due to COVID-19, but our goal is to eventually get back out on the road and share our story with everyone around.
I currently live in Chicago with my husband, Chase, and my other dog, Lucy, and this is my 6th year tour.
I'm from Richmond. I graduated VCU in 2016.
I started dance rather late. I sang before I danced. I ended up going to college and I got my BFA in dance at Wright State University.
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I trained there at Atlanta Ballet. I danced professionally with Richmond Ballet, and then I went to school at Butler University, and I got my degree in Dance Arts Administration and Business Law. And then I decided to move to New York because no ballet companies would hire me. And I just auditioned for stuff, and then I finally got this.
I grew up in Lenexa, Kansas, got all my training here, started singing and dancing around the age of 5 or 6. Then after graduating high school, I moved to New York City and studied commercial dance in the BFA program at Pace University. Graduated in May of 2019. I've done some summer stock things, I've done some regional work, and now I'm touring the country.
I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I currently live in New York City.
This is my 2nd tour. I was the assistant stage manager and assistant company manager for Legally Blonde. We went out last year. I also work at SPARC. I've done Newsies, I helped with Little Shop, and Peter the Starcatcher, and then whatever Amy needs me to do. I'm a dog mom. I have Josie, and I have Finley, and she's out playing. This is Finley. She's my other dog.
I grew up in New Jersey. I did competition dance. I studied ballet. Out of high school, I started dancing with the Rockettes at Radio City. I've lived in New York since 2013, dancing with various ballet and contemporary companies. Since December, I've been so fortunate to be living a dream of mine, dancing and traveling all across the United States with this beautiful show. We have ballet, tap, jazz, we're singing, we're dancing. And what's so cool is we get to see so many different venues all across the United States. That does present some challenges, naturally. Every day we have a different crew at the theater. Different parts of our set may or may not fit. Different things can fly in. Set pieces and props may or may not be there. So it's definitely challenging because your show is changing every night. However, at the end of the day, you're performing for a brand new audience all across the United States, and it keeps the show so fresh and so exciting.
For any tour, it's about knowing what the show should sound like and then making it sound like that every night, city to city. Touring as a head audio means acting as a very condensed version of the designer from city to city. So on the longer sit-down tours, that's a lot of emails, phone calls, and advance work before you show up. And on the short engagement tours, it's a lot of thinking on your feet when you walk in the room at 7 a.m. The consistency throughout cities should be achieved by the way that you implement the sound system for that specific venue. Maybe the house is really narrow, maybe it's very wide, maybe it sounds boomy or small and in your face, but whatever it is, you have to adapt the sound system that you were provided and tune it in a way that works for that venue. And hopefully, if you've done your job correctly, the 2 hours a day you spend mixing the show should be the easy part.
When it comes to adapting the show and adapting to each space, we have a book that has our shows like A, B, C, D, blah, 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 that myself, my dance captain, Nicole, and my ASM, Jenna, have all put together. This has information about one city that could apply to 6 cities down the road and what's worked and what hasn't worked. So then on days when we do maybe have a cut show, I can go in to the cast and be like, today is a show B with insert whatever it is, tracking only from here to here, and we are replacing this with that. The cast usually knows what I'm saying, and because they've had it before, we also then will print that off and put it on the wall. Also, my head carpenter and we can walk into venues now and be like, okay, today I think we have to cut this scenic element because of space, because we want to have whatever else in. This is so incredibly important to be able to do right off the bat, and it saves so much time.
So with this show, we had a different theater almost every night. And with that came a lot of challenges that our whole team, from the crew to the cast, had to face. And sometimes that meant our gondolas with our costumes for all of our quick changes would be on one side of the stage, and all my entrances would be on the other side. And so that would change things up, all the backstage traffic. Sometimes they were on stage with us, sometimes they were in another room, sometimes they were downstairs below the theater. We've also had every theater's different. Sometimes there's an on-stage crossover, so we can go from stage right to stage left. Other times you have to go outside. Sometimes you have to sprint downstairs, run under the stage, run up another set of stairs, onto the stage right as your cue's going. Oh, and you're changing while you're doing all of that, and hopefully not falling. And then things go wrong. Live theater, people come to see you mess up, and they want to see how you handle it. There was one time we had a puddle on the stage during a big dance scene, and we had to figure out how to get it cleaned up so no one would hurt themselves. Sometimes the set falls apart in the middle of the scene. Sometimes props go missing or costume changes don't happen, and you have to fill the time until that person can actually come on stage. And it all really boils down to knowing your story and knowing what you're telling, and what is additional, what is helping you tell that story, and what you can still tell that story without having. And sometimes we've had shows where we had to cut almost the entire set, but we still told the same story. And I think what we tend to overlook a lot is that as much as we're storytellers, we're also fierce problem solvers, all the way from rehearsals to the show to every day. We were told, oh, we need this, and this. All right, I'm on it. I can do that. Or, this and this are going wrong. Okay, well, I can do this if you do this. And that, when it comes into being a team and a family and working together. And it's magic. And I think it's exciting when we're in a different theater and it's a different setup and you have new challenges, because it keeps it all fresh. You're not doing the same show every night, because sometimes the backstage traffic's different, or sometimes it's even affected our onstage traffic, where we have to bring things on from the other side of the stage than we normally do.
Load-in is usually about 6 to 7 hours, depending on the day, depending on the space, and depending on if it's a full show. Our crew does work very fast, and they're pretty efficient, so it could take less time. For matinee, we start at 6 a.m., sometimes 7, and then for evening performances, we start at 8, and I think we had one 9 o'clock.
So the audition process for this show was very, very dance heavy. We started out with a Petit Allegro combination, and then you would sing after they cut from that, and then they would cut from that, and then we had 2 days of basically a dance workshop where we tap danced, we did point, we did partnering, we did jazz, we did a theater combination. They just threw everything at us and wanted to see what we could do with it and how versatile we really were.
This process was fairly standard, not too different from any other regional work that I've done, although it may have been a little bit more extensive. I think I was in for a total of 4 days. So I first saw the casting notice, we're looking for male dancers. So I submitted my headshot, my resume, and my dance reel to the casting director, and from there I was offered an appointment to come in and be seen in person. First day was dancing and singing, second day was dancing and singing, the third day was dancing and singing, and then I think on the fourth day we danced and sang and read. And at this point in the casting process, they were looking to fill a very specific number of tracks. I think they were looking for 3 or 4 male dancers, and they were also looking for understudies for the principals. So while I was being looked at for male ensemble member, I was also being seen for the possibility of understudying a principal role, which I actually do, and I got to go on for, which was very exciting.
A wardrobe supervisor is different from a costume designer. Wardrobe supervising entails maintaining that design for the run of the show. So after 500 shows, you want that costume to look just as it did on opening night. When you're touring a show, there comes a lot of things where not only you're taking things in and out of boxes, you are also dealing with different local union workers to help you run your show. So they are trained on dressing and mending and doing laundry and things like that. And you specifically have to work with them on what the needs of your show are, what your quick changes are, how things need to be laundered, what needs to be dry cleaned. And then comes in if you have a new cast member. Wardrobe supervisors are in charge of fitting, obtaining those new costumes, and making sure that look that the costume designer designed is exactly what they want for the new cast member.
So for this production, I have 2 roles. I am a swing and I am the dance captain. So let's talk about what a swing is. When you are cast in a show, you're given one role or track to learn. So you get to do one thing in every scene, every dance number, every transition. So as a swing, it's my job to know everyone's part. So for an American in Paris, I have to know every female ensemble's role so that if anyone would get sick or injured or just need the night off, I go on and I perform their track. The role of swing is very important for large shows or for long running or touring shows because the show needs to continue to be performed every night without any missing parts. So what's a dance captain? The dance captain is responsible for knowing all the choreography for everyone in the entire show. So that's for all the men, all the women, any animals if they decide they're going to put animals in the show. So in rehearsal, I learn with the entire cast from the choreographer all of the choreography. So when we get on the road and we're touring for a touring production, the choreographer leaves. So the choreographer isn't with us, the director isn't with us, it's just your production stage manager and your dance captain. So it's my job as the dance captain to make sure everyone continues to dance all the choreography the way it was created by the choreographer. And then I also work with all of our swings and all of our understudies to make sure that they know all of the dance parts that they have to cover in the show. The other job of a dance captain is if something crazy happens, like say you're in a production and they don't have any swings. It's my job to re-choreograph and re-space sections of dance choreography so the show still looks the same as it does with a full cast with less cast members.
I'm a personal trainer and a yoga teacher, so I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot of training. I'm working with a personal trainer called Built for the Stage, and right now they're doing $8 trials. It's for anyone, anywhere. It's all on an app, and it's great. He does daily motivational texts and videos, and right now with all the social distancing, he's offering online classes for everyone. And it's a great way to get into the community, to meet other people, and just to network and stay connected and social.
I wake up, roll out of the bunk, go off the bus, go brush my teeth, do whatever I need to do. Load-in starts at 8 a.m. I will check in with my head carpenter about anything he might know will be shifted that day due to the space. Then I'll go find some coffee with my head of wardrobe and my assistant wardrobe, and then come back, and then I kind of start my emails and paperwork for the day. I work on advancing the show with my head carpenter for the production side, and then I have my own advance. Advancing the show is essentially just making sure that all of the details are hashed out between myself and the venue. So anything about load-in, anything about labor, anything how much our scenic pieces weigh, what time will we get there, anything along those lines. If we have a bus, if we have trucks, we have 3 trucks, we have a bus, we have all that. So I'll continue working on advancing the show, and that's super important. That usually takes a couple hours. At some point I'll eat, and I'll also go out and check on how load-in is doing, if I need to make any cuts due to the space or the safety of our performance that night. I'll make any cuts that I need to. I'll work with Rodney, our head carpenter, and Morgan, our head of props, about anything that needs to shift. Then maybe I'll eat again, hopefully. And then fast forward, the cast arrives. I give them a quick tour. That morning I've put up signs basically saying where everything is, where the different departments are, their sign-in sheet, and then also their dressing room assignments. So I'll show them where those are, and then I'll show them around the space and give them any updates on if we've cut anything, and you know, any updates about the stage for that day. Then they will come back, they have sound check, then we have personal warm-up, then we have fight and lift, and at that point we have half hour. Fast forward to places, we start the show. The show runs 2.5 hours, including our intermission. Once the show comes down, I write my performance report that I send out to everyone from the creative team, the design, the company that I work for in New York, and everyone on the road with me that is from the production side. You never should send a report to the actors. Once that's sent out, I will make my way back to the bus, and then I'll usually watch some TV or doodle or hang out with some of the other crew, and then I roll back into my bunk, fall asleep, and I wake up in the new city the next day.
So aside from touring with An American in Paris, I also toured in 2019 with the cast of Legally Blonde on the U.S. national tour. I was the role of dance captain, and I also played the role of chutney and female ensemble throughout the show. One of my favorite places that we went on tour was to the Northwest. I'd never been there before, and I got to spend a little extra time in Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington. It was so cool. There was great coffee, really cool people, and it was beautiful views for hiking. So Northwest is where it's at.
I love to read, I love to play Sudoku, I love to eat snacks, and I would always love to watch the bus movie, because we would all vote on a bus movie for a really long drive, and I think my favorite was when we watched The Shining.
I am someone who thrives on consistency, so I love to make things as similar as they can be for each show. So get to the theater usually 2 hours or an hour and a half before the show starts, too, if I have any say in the matter. Get to the theater and I'll immediately do my makeup once I get there so that I can just like get that out of the way and not have to worry about it. Then it will often be get into mics and we do mic check, and then I'll do a little bit of a personal warm-up during mic check, and then after mic check go back to my dressing room, take my mic off, put on all of my undergarments, so my dance belt, my white t-shirt, my black show socks, so that I just have one more step of the getting ready process done. Then I will take 30 minutes and do personal warm-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, a lot of stretching, some like cardiovascular stuff to just like make me move a little bit. Then after that is done, I will go back to the dressing room, put my mic on, and do my hair. So once that is all done, that will usually take me up until about like fight and lift call, which fight and lift call is 1 hour before the show starts. I will run through my lifts. I always need to do an overhead press just to do it. After fight and lift call, then I'll go back to the dressing room, finish doing all of the stuff that I need to do to get ready, and then we're at half hour. So at the half hour point, I'll go down to my gondola. I will introduce myself to my dresser or dressers or whoever is back there with me on that specific day. I will get dressed for the top of the show, and then I go through each of my costume presets to make sure every piece is there. I'll go to both sides of the stage and just like scope out where my props are gonna be for the show. Then that takes me up until about 15 minutes. Then at 15, I go back up to the dressing room. I will brush my teeth. I will, finish my Red Bull or my coffee or whatever caffeine I'm drinking that day. And then I will put in a piece of gum, go downstairs, and then at 5 minutes, we do a little breathing circle backstage. So we all just like hold each other's hands and breathe and get on the same page so that we can do the show successfully. And then at places, I do a little hand sanitizer and spit out my gum and do some last minute plies and a little heel stretch backstage, and then the show starts.
Every night we do get to sleep in a hotel, but then come the morning, we are right on the bus traveling, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes up to 8 hours before we are getting right off the bus, warming our bodies up, eating right, and performing a show. So being on the road is so cool and definitely a dream come true of mine. For any of you out there that want to pursue a professional career in dance, I can tell you it is the best job in the world. Hard work pays off. Keep going to all those auditions, make those connections, never give up, and dream big.
To never take an audition or a result personally. I was told no hundreds and thousands of times because I just wasn't what they were looking for, and then I finally found myself in the right place at the right time, and I was fortunate enough to get this part. But you just have to be extremely persistent and have really thick skin.
Always know that you're walking into a room and you are enough. Any room that you walk into, in that you know what you have to offer in that room. What you bring in is more than enough. And on the flip side of that is stay open and keep pushing your limits in your comfort zone, because the more you push and you try new things, the bigger your comfort zone will be.
My advice would be to be patient, be kind, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
If you want to pursue the arts, just go out and get involved. The local community has a lot of community arts programs that I definitely recommend. There's a lot of community theater out there, and it's a great way to be familiar with what a production is and all of the moving parts, because there's so much more than just who's on stage performing. You've got costumes, you've got props, you've got set design. You also have your stage manager who's calling the show. You'll learn so much through doing community theater. It'll definitely help you not only for the arts, but for anything else you want to do.
My first and biggest piece of advice is pursue a career in the arts if you cannot see yourself doing anything else. It's a really difficult thing that we do. It's beautiful and so fulfilling and so amazing, but it's hard and it takes so much work, so much dedication. It takes up all of your time and energy. But if this is something that you absolutely love, and if it's something that you absolutely have to do, then you'll be successful, because the passion and the drive to do it can't come from anywhere but from you.
Are you good at what you do? Do you enjoy working on what you do? And are you organized? If you've got those things, great, you might have a good time. But if you don't enjoy what you do, there's nothing else that's going to make you want to work on it.
Work really hard. Take dance classes in all different styles. Be a really great ballet dancer and a really great hip-hop dancer. Take singing lessons. Become a really great singer and a really strong actor, because nowadays you can't just excel in one thing. You have to be really well-rounded. You need to be really marketable in order to be successful.
Beyond everything else, you have to always remember to be kind.
Be kind.
Be nice and get along with people.
Be positive.
Be a good person.
And just be open.
You will get more work just being the person that everybody likes to work with and hang out with than you will being really, really good at what you do.
It is really easy to get hired once if you're talented, but it's really hard to be hired back if you are a mean person, if you are difficult to work with, if you are not just pleasant overall.
You could be the best designer, performer, whatever out there, but if people don't enjoy working with you, they might not hire you.
People remember who you are as a person before they remember who you are as a performer. And I think that's something that kind of gets lost in translation somewhere along the way, is just that, you know, people talk, and we are all artists, but we are all humans first. And so the way that you make people feel when you're around them will stick with them a lot longer than how many pirouettes you can do.